These are 7 of the most important skills to become an AI expert. My name's Yash, and I've been running an AI automation agency called Pluto AI. And these are some of the skills I implement every single day to help my 5-figure business grow, expand, and to service some of our clients. So let's dive right into it. So the very first one is to learn how to talk to AI properly. A lot of you would be familiar with the term prompting, and that's exactly what this says. Good prompts will change everything. It will change the way AI talks to you, the way you go talk to AI, and there are some insanely cool ways you can go to create prompts. And one of the absolute best ways I've found to create prompts, and one of the most important skills of what we use entirely here at Pluto AI, is to use Claude Workbench. So if you aren't too familiar with what Claude Workbench is essentially Anthropic Claude. They have the API platform, and it allows you to test prompts using this API platform. You can also use just the normal Claude. Here's Claude.ai, you can use this as well. I prefer to use the Workbench purely because you can add a system prompt in there that helps with prompting. So once you click on this and you log in, you should come to a page like this if you click this plus icon. And here's the system prompt, and this always should be set as you are an expert prompt engineer. So let's type that in. You are an expert prompt engineer. Okay, sweet. So we've got the you are an expert prompt engineer over here. Now, let's have a user prompt, which is how we're going to communicate with Claude and going to actually go and generate this prompt. So AI is actually going to go and do a lot of the heavy lifting for us. So let's say we want to generate a prompt for an agent that sorts out our inbox. So let's go, I want you to generate a system prompt for an AI agent that will sort out my inbox in N8N. And one of the key things you want to do is have the AI do investigation on exactly what you want. Because normally we don't give AI enough information for it to go and generate an amazing prompt. So what we need to do is we need to ask AI to ask us questions that it's confused on and any sort of variables it has to then go and draft this prompt. So let's have a look at it. Ask me any questions you might need to generate best prompt, right? So if we go and click on this and then click run, and over here we'll have a response. So it's going to go us and ask us a bunch of questions. Then when you go and answer these questions, right, either it'll ask you for some more, because at the end you just go and answer, like, for example, number 1, answer, number 2, answer, and then after you've answered all 15 questions, you go and say, are there any more questions before generating? And once you ask this, then it will go and ask either more questions, or once it's done asking all the questions, it'll go and generate the prompt. And normally the prompts from here are absolutely amazing. And you can also use this method to edit the existing prompts you have. So you can just paste in your expert prompt engineer. Here's an existing prompt. This is what this prompt's supposed to do. Ask me any questions you might need to reformat and generate a better prompt. And it will go and reformat and generate a better prompt. And this is normally one of the best ways to go and prompt AI agents, go and write awesome prompts for anything else, you know, like creating thumbnails, etc., etc. It's an amazing way to generate prompts like that. So that's how you learn to talk to AI properly. Normally you just ask it a bunch of questions and give it all the context, because normally when you talk to a human, you're not starting with a clean slate. They normally have information and context, but every single time you talk to a new AI, they don't have any context. Learning how to talk to an AI properly by asking it to ask you questions will then go and give it all the context it needs to be an amazing and super clever sidekick. The second biggest tip I have when using AI is to get comfortable with low or no code tools. If you know how to code, even better, you can just integrate code and AI together. But a lot of people don't know how to code and they want to still use AI to its full potential. This is where if you learn low/no code tools, it expands your horizon with AI. You don't need to be a coder. Tools like Make.com and N8N will help you build automations and workflows way faster than doing it all from scratch. So for example, say you have a process where you want to connect Google Sheets, you want to connect Google Drive, and you want to connect Google Docs or any other APIs that you might have into one workflow. These low/no code tools will help you do that, and you can generate amazing prompts for those using how to talk to AI properly. Say, for example, you have a massive Google Sheet, right, with a bunch of leads in them, and you want to go and enrich these leads. You want to find out information about them. This is where a low code/no code tool will be really useful, because normally if you want to find out, let's say about Elon Musk, he's on your lead list, you would go to Perplexity AI, you would manually go type in who is Elon Musk, who works at, let's say, Tesla, What does he do? For example, this is if you want to go and enrich information within your CRM or within a Google Sheet, and you'll manually have to type this in. Let's make sure I turn Pro Search off, and you'll find this. You'll get the information right, and eventually Perplexity will go, and then you copy all this information into the sheet. Then you can use that in future, and you have all this information about your lead. Now, if you go and use a no-code tool like Make.com, you can go and build out a really quick workflow like this. This took me a whole of 3 minutes to make. And essentially, we've got the lead list here. And exactly like the example I showed you, we have lead name, company, enrichment. So we've got Elon Musk, Tesla, and then enrichment. And now say you have like 1 million leads in here, like not 1 million, but like 1,000 leads in here. It's going to take you forever, right? You're going to have to go copy Elon Musk, Tesla, and then copy the enrichment information in there. It's a very slow and laborious process. If you just spend, maybe 3 days learning how to use a no-code tool, you can easily build a simple automation like this one. So let me show you exactly how this automation runs. So let me click run once. As you can see, it will grab Elon Musk and stuff from the sheet. It will go through Perplexity just like I did in the manual process. Eventually, once Perplexity responds, it will go into the Google Sheet. And here we go. We have all the enrichment information for Elon Musk directly through Perplexity. Learning simple no-code automations is a super valuable way to leverage AI in a much more efficient manner. That is skill number 2. Skill number 3 is to connect front ends to back end. This is specific if you're trying to become someone that can build out AI solutions, right? For example, the Make.com automation I just built here is a back end. Sheets is a very simple front end, right? So this happens in the background, and this is everything the user sees. The great thing about AI is we can now use it to expand what we can build, right? So now start to use tools such as Lovable.ai to generate really cool front end. So exactly what Lovable looks like, Lovable.dev, sorry, not Lovable.ai, my bad. This load, and you can ask Lovable to go and create an entire front end to an application. For example, if you wanted something to do with lead enrichment, you could say, create me an application that will show the name of the lead, their company, and then also the enrichment information. And then you can go and connect this front end that's literally an actual tool that can be hosted on a domain instead of a Google Sheet to this backend over here, all done by AI with no coding experience. It's an amazing and really valuable way to generate and build prototype apps or really fast apps quickly using AI. This will actually make your ideas usable, and you can make them really, robust and take them from a prototype to an actual application. So that's what makes this really, really cool. The fourth thing I would really recommend learning when you're using AI is focus on real problem solving. So one of the most annoying things about AI and one of the most great things about AI is there is about 1,000 tools that are released every single day. There are so many tools that flood the market. You just don't know what's useful and what's not, and you don't know what to use and when to use them. I think it's called shiny object syndrome, where, it looks really cool in a demo, and then when you actually use it in real life, it might not actually solve the problem you're looking. So AI is fundamentally just a tool, right? It gets you to solve a problem, right? That's what you're starting with. You're starting with a problem, and then it takes you to a solution. You always want to start with the problem first, not with the AI first. Think, okay, so this is the problem I'm looking to solve. How can AI help me do this? So AI allows you to solve problems that previously weren't able to be solved. You'd have to do them manually or whatever, right? To actually find information on the web, you might have to, build out scrapers and do the whole thing instead of just having one simple Perplexity node over here that can go through all the information and sort it, right? You'd probably have to go through the search results of who Elon Musk is, actively search through them, and then compile them into one kind of document, and then have a human look over that document. Now we just have Perplexity, scour the web, find the information, put it right into Google Sheet. That's why the AI is super, super valuable and super, super important. So it solves a problem that we weren't able to solve before, but you always have to make sure you are solving the problem that you start with. And that is one of the most important skills when you're using AI, is to find the right tool and to actually make sure you're solving the problem. And this one leads nicely onto this one. Only use AI where it saves time or money. Don't just put it in wherever you want. Don't get shiny object syndrome. There we go. I did write it down earlier. AI for the sake of AI is pointless. I know it's like a buzzword right now and it's super popular, but really only use it where it makes a real difference, where it saves time and it cuts costs, or it does things that, it does it better than what you could use it manually, or the time to trade off is it's way better to use AI than have a human do it. That's exactly what AI is really, really handy, but only use it where it saves time, saves money, gives you those productivity boosts, and it isn't just a nuisance because you're implementing a tool because it sounds cool, but it doesn't actually help. Really, really important thing to do when you're solving AI problems is to map out processes before you automate. For example, let's go and map out the really simple situation we have here where we have a lead list, Perplexity, and Google Sheets. So the way I map out processes, I used to do it in a tool called Whimsical. So if I go and show you Whimsical here, right? Whimsical is a really cool process mapping. You can go do flowcharts. This is a good example of what Whimsical looks like, right? You can go and generate these flows like this, which will help you go and build out your automations or how to use AI within your processes if you're looking to do this in a business sense, right? So I'm going to go and show you how Claude works as well, because this is the manual way of doing it. I much prefer doing it with Claude. So let me go and open up Claude.ai and let's have a conversation with Claude. I want you to create me a process flow diagram. So this is the prompt I'm going in with Claude. So Claude's amazing. You can turn natural language, just like speech, like I'm talking now, into full-on process flow diagrams. So you don't need to sit there and fiddle around, making each line, making each little diagram. You can do it all with AI, right? So let me just fix my spelling here. So we've got the first scenario is to show where we have a lead list of you, where we manually copy and paste leads names and company into Perplexity AI. We have to copy the answer from Perplexity AI into our lead list. And the second scenario is the automated flow that we built in Make.com, where we use Google Sheets to grab the information, put it into Perplexity AI, and then have it auto input into the lead list. Use a key to highlight automated versus manual steps. So this just shows you exactly how you can create process flow diagrams. So we're going to go let Claude do its thing. This is exactly what Claude generated. It might not exactly be the cleanest. You can obviously improve that with the prompt. I just put a really basic in for this example. But for example, we have the lead research process flow. We have scenario 1 where we have the Google Sheets lead list with the names. We manually copy and paste from Google Sheets into Perplexity AI. We manually paste the lead info and submits the query. User reads and reviews the response. User copies relevant information, returns Google and pastes it back in, and then updates the Google Sheet. And then we have the process using Make.com, where we have the Google Sheet, and then we use Make.com to auto-extract the data, query the information, Perplexity API, auto-response, auto-data update, and then update the Google Sheets, right? And it has a really cool manual step, automated step, and system/platform over here. And bottom, we have a process comparison, right? So this is really cool because it allows you to create diagrams like you would on Whimsical, maybe not in the same format, and you can prompt it to create it in the same format, in whatever format you like, and it will go and do it for you in about half the time it would take you in Whimsical. So this is really important. Process flow and mapping before you actually go and build out a solution is super, super important. You don't want to throw AI at a messy process. You'll just make the mess worse because whatever process you're throwing AI into, normally you're making that process 50 times more efficient, which means if the process was already a mess, you're just making it 50 times bigger of a mess. So always map out the steps first, then plug in AI where it makes sense. And something like a diagram like this one with Claude over here will show you exactly here's a manual step, here's a manual step, here's a manual step, here's a manual step, here's a manual step. Can you actually go and use AI or Make.com to go and automate these processes? And that's exactly what I'm trying to get at here. It's one of the most underrated things. People already use this, but how efficiently and how often you use this will show how productive you are going to be in 2025. Realistically, number 7. It's one of the most important things. And number 7 is to let AI help you when you are stuck. AI is like that friend that kind of knows a lot, right? It might not always be 100% accurate, but it does know a lot. It helps with ideation. It helps with problem solving. So if you're stuck, go to ChatGPT or go to Claude or whatever your favorite AI is and ask it for help. Get ideas, fix blocks, test out drafts. It normally gives you 5 suggestions on how to solve certain problems, whether that be to find a cool AI tool that can help solve a problem that one of your clients might have or that your business might have, or also just in general, solving relationship advice. It is insane. I'm not advocating for it to solve relationship advice, but it can, basically. My whole channel is based around a business sense, etc., but it is one of the things that can help solve. Treat AI like a 24/7 brainstorming buddy, and you'll move 20 times faster than just using Google and using ideas from Google, because AI is trained on all that information, and it will pick the best for you and use that information in a manner that will help you out. If you're stuck, please ask it for help, get ideas, fix blocks, and test out what solutions it comes out with, and it will help you speed up whatever goal you're trying to get to 10 times. There are 7 skills that I use every day that are all AI focused. Keep it simple, stay curious, and remember, AI is here to help you build real things, not just talk about them. You can build some of the most insane things with just the 7 of these skills that everyone should know, that will be part of every single person's way of building flows. Everyone will end up learning how to use no-code automations, in my opinion. Every single person will learn how to use AI at some point, whether it's now or in 10 years, and the people that don't will get left behind. So some of the most important skills to learn. If you enjoyed this video and you like the AI content, interact with this video, it helps out a ton. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.